the black culture made me an American actress as opposed to an American sounding actor. And I want to explain that, how important that is, and I see the professionals are all nodding, yeah, we've been trying to tell you this. So, the thing about being an actor from here, in an environment that is possibly not as fully developed as you would like, that there might not be enough roles, enough producers, enough filmmakers. You are in the greatest era ever. Why? Because you've got this tiny little thing that if you really want to communicate, you can make your film. You can write your play, and hopefully you're writing without the help of AI just yet. Hold on, hold on. It's frighteningly good. And so, to develop your own voice, try to avoid it for as long as you can, because it's coming. It's coming with a vengeance. And you're going to be part of it. It's like, embrace it, but don't let it be the thing that made your story. Make sure you've got your story to tell. I tend not to like to talk like in this platform because it feels like a teaching tool, and I like to have a communications tool where we ask questions and we talk to each other and I tell you about my experiences. But just so that you have some background, I've done over 120 films. I have been working non-stop for 43 years. Bravo. Thank you. I had one non-professional job in my life. I had 6 cents to my name. I was in Beverly Hills and I called my old boss, Colette, crying, and I said, Brian, I've tried everything, I'm not getting anywhere. Everybody says my voice is too far, it's too strange, da da da. And he said, hold on, don't panic. And he sent work to Los Angeles. When I was in New York, I worked at ABC Blackwell as an accountant's assistant. And he sent work to me until I caught myself. Nobody starts here. Every woman starts playing hookers, prostitutes, nameless faces, women, high heels and short skirts. And even when you're doing classical work, you're the courtesan as opposed to the hooker. But it's the same thing. So we all started there. The difference with CCH Pounder is that I heard a child with his father walking and saying, hey, Daddy, Daddy, that's that lady. And the father grabbed his hands and he said, yeah, they're like that. And he pulled me away, and I was so struck, not by the insult of it, but by the fact that that kid and his father saw something on television that not only labeled me, but labeled my entire race. And I went to my agent and I said, I will never play a demeaning role again. And that is a really tough choice. And I gave myself 1 year. I said, I've got a year's worth of savings, and I will hold on to that until you find me a role that is suitable. Obviously, a year went by, and finally there was a role, and what was it? Well, she's a prostitute, but and I said, no. Unfortunately, I had the script, and in the script there was a judge, and I said, I want to read for the judge. And they were, no, we're offering you the role of the prostitute. And I said, but I want to read for the role of the judge. And they were like, we don't really see a lot of black judges around. And I did my homework, found all the black female judges in the United States. All right. Wrote out a list of all the black female firefighters in the United States. All right. All the black people that were running businesses that never get seen. And I kept saying, here's a judge, here's a lawyer. And gave me the job. And as I walked out the room, I heard somebody say, well, she didn't really do that. And even in that resentment, it started the ball rolling. And I basically know the woman of the voice of authority, the woman with the moral center, that kind of role that I have been playing for years and years. And I'll tell you, it was only in the last 5 years that I felt that my resume is so stacked that I can now play a crazy, old hooker, whatever I want. I'm entitled as an actor, as an artist, to play whatever the hell I like. But coming up, there are dues to be paid, and you will have to pay. So that I wanted to start out with my background, just in terms of what it takes in some places to get to where you want to go. That the path is not the same for anybody. Everyone has a completely different individual path to get here. And you either have to embrace the journey or get out. Just don't hurt yourself that much. So, my friend was saying, Angela will talk about this, she was saying that her father said, acting is not a vocation, it's an avocation. You have to be called to want to be a priest, a lawyer, an actor. You can't help it but be an artist. It's like you cannot help it. And so, if you've got that in your bones, let's have a conversation and talk about this. So, I can either start by having questions now, or Angela can speak. I don't know how you want to do it. Angela can speak, and then we can sit together and have a conversation. But I really want to share information. I don't want to offer you, this is what I think you should do. This is how it's done. I'm just going to tell you my story. And my story is as unique as any other that you will hear. So there is no, unfortunately, there is no magic bullet that these ingredients make an actor. And these ingredients make a successful actor. So how do you want to do this, folks?
I'll talk a little, and then we'll talk with them. Will you catch it for me? Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Angela Robinson Witherspoon.
Jumbo.
Jumbo.
I've been studying that song. Can I get you to snap your fingers? I'm in with the in crowd. I go with the in crowd. Ooh. I'm in with the in crowd. I go to KCA University with CCH. Thank you. I started out in Washington, D.C., as she said. My dad was a lawyer and a diplomat, and he had taken me all over the world into museums. And I said to my father I wanted to be an artist. And he was appalled. He believed in you being a lawyer, or a doctor, or maybe a dentist, perhaps a school teacher, a principal. But he said that those very words, art is an avocation, not a vocation. So I've spent my entire life trying to prove him wrong. I went off to school in Ohio at Antioch, which had a work-study program. And for my first work-study, I went to work at the Smithsonian Institute in Portrait Gallery. And in the afternoon, I worked at the Washington Post. But I had been exposed to dance by a woman named Debbie Allen in high school. And she was a wonderful, like a rocket ship, just to watch her career. And so I was constantly trying to get a chance to get in front of the camera. And so it took me a long time. It took me a long time. I did not study formal theater. went kind of circle route. I was a fashion model. When she was doing theater, I was doing modeling in London and Paris and Italy. But I made my way over there. My roommate was an actress. We went to school at Paramount Studios and took comedy. And then one year I was invited to go to the Cannes Film Festival. And so there I met a director and he said, I've got a movie for you for next year. And I thought, oh sure, I've heard that before. But he actually did it. He actually invited me to play a role in a movie called Kidnapped. And it was in that film that I met my husband, that some of you may or may not know, John Witherspoon. She knows who it is.
Yes.
Her homie from Detroit.
Yes.
And so from there, things grew and I was able to meet lots of interesting filmmakers, Robert Townsend and Walter Hill and different ones. But when I was 59 years old, I decided to go back to school and become a filmmaker. Someone said to me, you're a pretty good actress, but if you became a filmmaker, you'd be way more interesting. And I thought, okay. And so I picked up this thing that CC is talking to you guys about, the iPhone, and I picked up the Canon, and I want to encourage all of you to do that, to pick up the camera and learn how to use your camera and your iPhone to make films. And I was able to get CC to work with me, and we were able to do a documentary about our friend Betty Saar. Now, Betty is the ultimate big dream. She's 99 years young, and she's still making art. I think we're going to show Madam Professor, are we going to show the trailer of the movie? Were we able to get that? No? Technical difficulties? Well, tomorrow you can come and see the whole documentary. So we'll make sure to invite the students to that. But my point is, at 59 years old, I picked up the camera and started making my own stories. And I was fortunate enough to have this wonderful friend of mine, CC, be the narrator of my documentary. And the documentary is still going around on the festival circuit. It's been shown on Martha's Vineyard at the African American Film Festival. It won Best Documentary in Studio City at the film festival there. We also showed in New Orleans at the New Orleans Film Society. And I think next month we're at the City of Angels Film Festival. So imagine, at 59 years old, I got a whole new dream, a bigger dream. And through that dream, I was able to make new friendships and learn something. There's never a time in your life when you can't learn something new. True. And what Cece's saying about this being an important time, you guys are the new generation of filmmakers coming out of Africa and out of Kenya. And so one day I want each of you to be able to stand up and say, well, you know, these two old ladies came to visit us in Kenya, and they said we could do anything we wanted to do. And they showed us their films, and they told us that they live a life dedicated to art. Dedicated to art. I don't know when I've had a job. Maybe since I was 21. I've been figuring it out. And it's easy, but it's terrible, because it's up to you. It's up to you. You've got to figure out how to make your dream pay for your food and your shelter and your car and your existence. So it's creative on creative, or creative squared. And then it's okay if you do more. I like to say you can have it all, you just can't have it all at the same time. So like Cece said, initially she had to play these roles that she was not that fond of. I think my first role, I'm at the bar with, or my second, I'm at the bar with Eddie Murphy in 48 Hours. And I say to him, I'm with somebody. And I got $1,500. So I thought, oh, wow, this movie star thing's gonna be easy. But I didn't know how hard it would be to get another line in another movie. But you do what's in front of you. And you never, I like to say you never give up. You never give up. I don't want to tell on myself, but I'm still in the grind, and I'm over 39. Way over. All right, so that's enough about me. We should open it up for questions. Tell us, who wants to come up and tell us a little bit about you, how you're doing, and where you're starting, and what your father said to you when you said you wanted to do performing arts.
I'm just joining her. I want somebody to come join us.
Come on, who's the brave one?
Thank you.
Come on out.
Come hang with us.
Yeah. We will invite you. Nice to meet you.
Hi guys,
Hi. Look at that.
my name is Kalanja Ongoi. I was this genius person. I never had mathematics and physics in my timetable. Those were the things that I used to do when I'm bored. So I did my KCA, got very strong in minors, went and did computer science. But when I was doing my computer science, I realized that I used to go and watch the drama club practice. So I'm just there, I have everything, I even got all the lines. And sometimes I could tell the director, today, this person did not say with the right attitude. It's true, something different. And the director told me, why don't you come and act? But I was still shy. So I finished for the 4th year. I didn't do the last exam. And my mom is always there. What did you choose? Why did you just come and start acting? And they are always seeing me as a failure. Imagine my mom is a teacher, and a son of a teacher did not complete the university. And I've been having all that, but there is one teacher who's always been tapping my back. My primary school CCH teacher. She knew that anytime we needed some acting for some scenes, I was always the first one to jump. And every time she calls me, until now, those are over 20 years, she asked me, do you still act? And the first time she saw me on a TV, she was like, yeah, you followed your dream. And she keeps clapping for me. I take advantage of these free and accessible master classes like this one. This is how I've learned filmmaking. I'm now directing some short films. Some are in film festivals. I have like 3 we've done this year. And whatever I have with the little I know, I'm sharing with people from the underprivileged areas in the society, like the ghettos. We call it Cinema Mtaani. It's called Cinema in the Ghetto, where we teach them hands-on filmmaking, and we make a short film a month. And our mantra is, we can change the world a single story at a time. Thank you.
Tell him the question.
The first camera I used, that was back in 2022. I used my phone, and I did a documentary called The Left Out Rights. The Left Out Rights was a story about how the queer people and the people in the LGBT community were being denied access to facilities to showcase their talents simply because they are queer, not because of the content they are doing. Zippy, I know you've heard the stories around that. And it got a special recognition in African Smart Film Festival, International Smart Film Festival. It went to Red Sea, and there's also, I have also a couple of others that are also in other festivals, like the Lift. I went to the Lift Global, and this year we have 4 of them that have entered the Lift of Global.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're an actor,
Yeah.
you're a director,
Yeah.
you're a cinematographer, because
Sure.
you hold the phone,
Yeah.
you hold the camera, and
Yeah.
then are you an editor too?
The funniest thing is I had to learn to do everything by myself. So because I never knew the art of collaboration, what I did is that I used to look for an actor, I direct, I go, I edit, I do all those, I light, and I edit, I do the music, and sometimes I would look at the credits and this is 2 more Karanjas, 2 very many Karanjas, and I would just say, well, CP, I have done a project here. Naweza kuweka kwa sound. Can I just say that you read the sound? Because I also was shared of being that the credits is full of me, and nowadays I have now a team. I've gotten a team around me, and they keep me going. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Tell us your name again. Tell us your name so we can look for your credits.
My name is Karanja Wangoi.
Hello everyone. Hi. My name is Sandra Neth. I'm a Kenyan writer, filmmaker, and I'm also an educator. So I'm also teaching. A little bit about me. I'm an old girl of Zippy. She taught me, but I'll start from the beginning. So when I went to campus, I studied English, literature, and language and literature to be a teacher. And then I fell in there. When I was going into school, they used to give us something called job. So you'd be half sponsored by the government to study. So I ended up in the class by mistake. I wanted to be an interior designer, and then I ended up doing English language and literature. And then when I was there, I used to love books. So I started writing when I was in class 4. So I'd write really weird stories in exercise books, and I'd give them to people to read them. And then they tell me, oh, it's not good. Oh, you can work on this. But then now when I was in campus, I wrote my first novel, and I finished it just after finishing campus. And then I thought, ooh, film, because I also loved film. And then I went to KCA University, and I was enrolled in a master's class for film, and that's why I met Dr. Zippy. And then when I was there, when she was teaching, she told me something. Have you heard of work away? And I was like, what's that? Work away. Work away. Work away. Yeah. And I was like, no, I haven't heard of that. And I remember how she said, oh, the first thing you've not heard of. Because I used to be like, my head was always, I wanted to know so much, yeah. So she introduced me to work away, and basically, you host visiting filmmakers, and you get to work on projects together. So I was very green in film, and I wanted to learn rapidly. So I went, I asked my mom, can I host these strangers from Hollywood? And she had Hollywood, and she said yes. So I ended up hosting about maybe 6 people who worked in Hollywood, and when they were here, I was able to work on film projects with them and learn very quickly. Because that means your teacher is in the house with you. You can wake up and go, can I ask you a question? Now there's no barrier, there are no big rooms where you can speak. Because I'm sure right now so many people want to say something, but there's a lot of pressure in such a setup. Yeah, but then over dinner, I can ask all the questions I want to ask. So I spent about 7 years creating a short film portfolio called the 20 Film Portfolio. And my classmate was Mafese. I remember asking her to activate. And I was asking everyone, my estate, my village, my parents, my siblings. So I made everyone a filmmaker while I was learning. And so we did a 20 film portfolio. The idea was make 20 films the 20th, you know what you're doing. But then we never got to the 20th.
Sounds like a challenge to me. Make 20 films, and by the time you're done with that, you'll know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So how many have you made now?
13 on the 20 film portfolio, but then I officially closed that chapter because now I'm a professional and now I'm making films.
All right.
Yeah, what is a professional? So we just did the first short film. Now, not me as a student. It's called Anywhere But Here. It's a short film. If you go on YouTube, it's on YouTube. It's called Anywhere But Here, where I was the director. I also did the camera work, and I edited. Not because there was no one else, but because the person who wrote the script wanted me to do those roles. So that was amazing. Next year, we are working on adopting. Oh, I write. I'm a writer. I write books, thriller books.
All right, we're going to catch you short.
Yeah. So we're gonna make my first feature film, an adaptation of my book. So thank you so much.
I see you back there. You raised your hand. Thank you very much. It's time for you.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
My name is Tabi Gadoni. I'm a student at KCA University. I'm doing film. So far, we've done school projects. I've never been featured in a film per se, only the school projects. But we're looking forward to learn more and to get into the film industry. Yeah, that's all I guess. I don't have much to say.
Free advice right here.
What does it take to be an actor?
I think the biggest thing in being a filmmaker or an actor or a musician is making up your mind. The day that I said to my father, well, no, art can be a vocation, and I'm going to show you. So that was the biggest thing, was making up my mind and then follow through. And I know Cece had some of the same challenges with her mother, because her mother was big on education, her father was big on education. And the moment you say you're going to be an artist, everybody goes, uh-oh.
Angela was braver than I was. I lied. I lied for many years. I did. The man that I talked about earlier when I introduced myself, was the one who I called and said, I got 6 cents left to my name. I worked for him because at night he let me go to the theater. And he saw me in the theater, burst into tears, and he said, whatever you need. And he became one of my loyal supporters in the beginning. Something also that I think everybody needs to have, great support. It only has to be one person, but you need someone that says, I know what you're doing, I believe in you, I know, I understand your work. And I think that's really important for all of us. And there's another thing that I never thought about, because I always thought I was a solo act. But the people that you are learning this craft with, you're going to see them all the way along your journey. So make your friends, make your colleagues. You don't have to love everybody, but you have to respect what they do. Know that they came from the same pool that you did. And one day they will work for you, or you will work for them. And just hold them to it. Especially in a town that's as small as this about film. This is a small film town in relation to the world. But that's why it's really good to form super strong teams right here. And it starts here now in the learning process.
Great. How do you convince someone to do something for you, like to act for you. Like a person when
I have to answer to this. You do an exchange. You say, I'll act in your film if you'll act in my film. I'll hold the camera for you if you'll hold the camera for me. We'll get Susie to hold the microphone. We'll get Bobby to hold the lights. We'll get somebody else to be the first AD. Make your crew right here from this grouping. You should recruit him right away because he knows what he's doing a little bit. You know, and then you guys work together and get him to help you. Have you guys met?
Not yet. But one thing I would tell you as an actor, learn that you don't do every time, and learn how to deal with rejection.
That's a separate chapter. We'll deal with that.
That's it. Thanks for coming on. Yes.
My name is Samson Wonde, but some icons will do. I'm a theatre and film graduate from KCA University. Lucky enough, nearly all of the film and theatre lecturers at KCA now, or my lecturers, from ZP to Jumsi, Suki. How I began my journey, I used to live with a cousin. I'm born and raised in the Western. I'm born and raised in Nyanza, Siaya. And then I was called to study in high school in Nyeri, which is really far away. So they had to get someone to host me in Nairobi. When I was hosted by this relative, he is still a telecommunications engineer with Kenya Airways and Telcom, which left after Orange left. So I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So when it was time to choose the courses for university, I wanted to be a telecommunications engineer, just like him, because he looked successful and everything was going well. But because we had 4 choices for courses, I chose the last one as film and theatre in KU, because again I wanted to be in Nairobi compared to going away from home. So when I was selected for the courses, lucky enough, I got telecommunications engineering. But during the time, we usually had a window period for changing courses, and I thought, I really don't want anything to do with telecommunications, so I still chose film as much as I didn't know anything about it. My father wasn't angry because he thought the word theatre meant something to do with hospitals. And even on the day when he took me to KU for admission, I didn't really pay much attention to it, but he mentioned things to do with the hospitals, and I just thought, oh, but I didn't tell him. So later on, as I continued, we got to the 3rd year. He told me, there's a friend of mine in this hospital, Kitaka attachment. That's the time I realized he really doesn't know what I'm doing. But that's not the reason why I'm standing here. I got the urge to stand here because most of you seated are theatre students and film students. I would, in my own right, say that based on how Kenya is going right now, our industry, I'm a successful artist in Kenya. So why exactly would I stand to speak? Because most of us are students. When we were in campus, we found ourselves just 7 theatre students. So what exactly did we do? Every semester, we did 2 professional productions of theatre, whether or not the audience was there. Zibi can attest to that. And the tickets were less than 100 shillings. 100 shillings is not even $1. And people would still not show up. Like it would just like 3-4 people. We did that from first year because we made our first feature film with Judy in first year. In first year, we didn't even know how we're doing it. It's on YouTube. It's called Falling Apart. It looks so bad. So bad. At some parts, the lighting is so bad you can't even see the actor. At some mics were talking and you can't even hear yourself talking. But we kept doing things. We kept doing projects every now and then. And then after now we had majored in theatre in third year, we decided that we were going to do productions every 2 weeks. So we came up with a theatre series project where we'd have one story that every Friday, so it was just 2 weeks for theatre, but that 1 week, on that Friday where there was nothing, we'd do free film screenings. So we'd ask people to submit their films, and then we'd also ask maybe established, film people. I remember we screened in CC, we screened this film by Abel Matua. So we asked just established producers to say, hey, if you need to screen so that people can see what other filmmakers are doing. But if there's one thing that advanced our career and even advanced my portfolio as a student, because in our industry, no one really cares that you just graduated. You can have 18 years of experience in our industry when you are 18 years old. So as a student, for me, as much as I wasn't in the industry, we were always practicing. And thanks to Suki, who took us to this second edition of Kid Fest, where we were dancers. You can imagine me dancing. But during that festival, we watched this Tuhanda South African play by Jika. And that moment made us form a theatre production while we were in first year. And that theatre production, by the time we were graduating, we had 57 credits we had 57 credits of writing, directing. So just we were a class of 8, but 5 of us formed the production. So we'd write, we'd direct, we'd light, we'd do everything. And as I speak right now, as much as I haven't mentioned all these things, I know I'm a good writer, I'm a good director, I'm a good producer, I can do all those things as much as I'm mentioning. So, and then now that brings me to the part where I use your prowess. Locally, people tend to tell me, and a lot of other people, let me say it in Kiswahili and then I'll translate. Walai wewe maju, unza make it sana. So that's basically they tend to tell me, you really make it in the regional and international market. In Hollywood, that's the term they use, you really make it in Hollywood. There's something about our industry of not loving its own. I don't know how to really say it. Of not loving our tongue, not loving our hair.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Because it's literally black worldwide where we have not fallen in love with ourselves. It is in every colonialized country where the other is far superior, far more intelligent, prettier sound. Everything about it is marvelous. And yet, they will come and cull all the magic that we have and recreate it for themselves. And we can tell each other over and over again, we are the magic.
Yes.
But
yes.
It is so hard to break down something that has been from the day we were born. Your mother was, oh, let's make his nose a little humble. All of the things, if you think about what we did to ourselves, because we bought the lie. We bought it hook, line, and sinker. And I don't know how to tell you this any more stronger than I feel it today. When I walk into the room, I hope this is not being recorded, I know that.
Thank you so much about that. I think for upcoming filmmakers then they should start embracing that as early as possible. So that when you write for your own people. Don't write this impossible idea of such a rich movie. Write for the faces that you can see, the faces that you can relate to, the voices that you can listen to. That's all. And as creatives, just create at all times.
Can I give some homework?
Yes.
So I would like you guys to find a movie from 30 years ago. It's called Hollywood Shuffle.
Yes.
It's written by Robert Townsend.
Yes.
And at that time there was something called the Black Pack. And the Black Pack was Robert Townsend, Keenan Ivory Wayans, Damon Wayans, Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall. Who else was in that group with them? But anyway, Robert made his first feature film on his credit cards. He used his credit cards to get the camera. I don't know if he paid anybody to be in it, but that movie launched his entire career. And then he did the 5 Heartbeats, and he did Parenthood. He did a lot of other things, but his very first job, because he was stuck doing commercials, he always played the sidekick. And he wanted to graduate to director, producer, writer. And so he put his money where his mouth is. You guys should go and look at this film as research. Here is somebody who couldn't get the studios to fund anything, and so he funded it himself with his credit cards and got all his friends in the movie. And that movie's in the Smithsonian, in the African American Museum in Washington, D.C. And John is in there talking about the Winky Dinky Dog. So just as a reference point, you guys could do something like that. You could pool your resources and make a film that's ready for distribution.
Also, surely there is a Kenyan film that people think is a classic that speaks to everybody in the room. Is there such a film that, what is it? I couldn't hear. Nairobi, Half Life. Does everybody know it? Yes. Yes. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Because if you've got, yes. That quiet hand like that is like, come.
Hi everyone. Hi. I am Marie. I am an actor, a writer, a radio producer, and I just wanted to ask, but let me give this example, not an example, but basically, the past 2 weeks we've had some theatre festival called Kids Fest, and I was able to attend most of the days, not all, and I also took part in the monologue competition. Sam was among the judges. I observed, while I was attending this festival, I observed that we are a lot of artists. A lot of actors, a lot of musicians, designers, journalists. We were a lot. And I also observed that there was indeed a lot of work. However, we are still, these are the top tier producers, right here. And most of us are here. So most of us as artists, we find a challenge where for us to be able to collaborate with these producers up here, you approach a producer with your work and you say, can we do something with this? They'll lie to you and tell you this is not even that good. And then they'll take your work and produce it for their own, leaving you without anything after they've already told you that your work is not really that good. And I think that that is what most of us as artists, actors, producers, that is the biggest challenge that we are facing. And so I just want to ask, have you ever encountered something like that? Or have you ever dealt with something like that? And if you have, how did you manage that?
Okay, so first of all, you don't submit your work until it's copywritten to another artist. But most of the time, someone like Abebu Duvernay, you have to bring a product that's finished. She complains that everybody wants, Aunt Ava, I want to be your protege. Aunt Ava, I want you to mentor me, but they don't have a product. So you need to make a product, and then your product will be your calling card. You know this, right? Even if you make a 5-minute film that has bounce and has energy. We're very good friends with Barry Alexander Brown, and Barry is the main editor for Spike Lee. And on his Instagram, he's talking about a new movie called Bunny that was made in the West Village on a small budget with 2 actors. You have to make a product. You don't give your product up to somebody above you. You make your product. And then you own it. So nobody can take it from you. Even myself, I'm helping someone do a book. But we make sure we publish the book first so that there is our copywritten material before we went out to shop it as a TV series. So you need to copyright your material. If you have a great idea, believe in your great idea. And then even if you have to spend $500 or $1,000 of your own money or whatever number it is to make even a small part of it. The reason I'm asking you to watch Hollywood Shuffle, Robert Townsend made 5 minutes of the film. And then from that 5 minutes, he was able to get the funding. So make a small piece of your film and then go out and shop it. Don't shop just an idea on a piece of paper. Okay? Does that answer your question? Do you have another question?
Also, as I'm talking now on an artist's perspective, you people out there in Hollywood have agents and representatives, you know, helping you navigate through the industry and your careers. Out here in Kenya and most African countries, we have them, but they're just, we don't really have, how do I word this?
We don't have them.
Yeah, we don't have the kind of representation you people have in terms of management or agents to help us navigate the industry. So could there be, could you allow for collaboration and like open facilities on here or collaborate with us to see how we can, you know, foster, because I know we have the Kenyan Artists Guild. They are trying to do what you people in Hollywood do. However, it is not enough because there are a lot of artists, a lot of great artists out here, and we don't get that representation from. Yes, we don't get that representation.
It's the same answer. If you put yourself in a product where you look good and you're amazing, you're going to get representation. I didn't have representation in the beginning. I had to put myself in theater or put myself in a film or put myself somewhere where someone would notice me. Cece, can you answer that too?
Well, it's a different answer.
It's a different answer, but just as viable, I think. Within the friendships and the colleagues that you have, there is an artist who is in love with the arts, but not in love enough. But they organize you. That's your agent. They can put the notices out. That's your publicist. And within that group, those are the people who say, you go up and you speak for us. You know how we're doing it. So it's as you're all finding new jobs, new artists are coming in, therefore new agents are coming in, new publicists are coming in. In the huge group of people who are learning the same thing, not everyone will be successful at doing that, but they might be brilliant at doing the representation. So you have to find amongst yourselves, this is a different community, it's a different market, but within that market, all of the elements that so-called Hollywood has, you have it here. And you have to encourage them to kind of go, listen, you're not in this place, so you be our publicist in this play. Eventually, those people are going to discover that, wow, I like being a publicist. I like being an agent. I like representing these people. And therefore, I'm sorry, I'll stand. And therefore, it is the way that the river flows that you gather your agent, your publicist, and your actors. And you can't do it all, and it's not fair. And by the way, if you're in a school that has a business component, let your business students know. We need to know how to write a contract. We need to know how it's all here.
Do you guys know who LeBron James is? Yes. Okay, so LeBron was the star, right? He was the big one. But then his buddy that was on the basketball team with him became his manager, Chris, something Ball. And then they took somebody else and put them in charge of merchandise. So you have to find your people. They're all right here, like Cece said, but you guys have to find the different roles that you get excited about playing. You know, but don't be afraid. And then one other exercise I had in film school was to reach up and call somebody that you think is unattainable. And you'd be surprised, there are 2 or 3 phone calls that you can make to get to that person. Like let's say I want to call Martin Scorsese. Well, I have a friend that works with him on a project, but maybe I'm afraid to ask her to do that. So, you know, you just got to work your way through it, but don't be fearful. All they can do is say, I'm not going to take your call.
Yeah, they always say there's only 2 answers.
Yes, no.
Yeah. So you try it.
And rejection is part of our game. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. Yeah. So toughen up your skin. Yes, sir. I'm so glad one of the professionals first to have a question.
Hello, everyone. Hi, it's good to be here. My name is Bobby Walker. I am a performing artist and a founder member of the Kenya Actors Guild. I'd like to share a bit of my experience and a bit of my journey in this art space. Well, if my old man would have woken up today and realized that his son just became a performing artist, I think he'd go back to sleep. And this is the only space where you get to work and as you enjoy what you do. Because there's nobody who will come willingly. You will go to work happy and you will bank your check smiling. When I started out as an actor, I have acted professionally for about 20 years. Out of my 40, yes. Out of my 40, I've professionally worked as an actor for 20. I usually work with organized youth groups in the community because my mentor once told me that you have to, if you love what you do, you have to share the knowledge that you have with somebody else or a younger generation. So I with a late friend of mine, Roy Ogola, once got a chance to work with organized youth groups from Kakuma refugee camp, that is northern Kenya. It's a multinational refugee center where we have Rwandese, we have Ugandans, we have Somalians, and then they needed to tell their story, how they got to where they are as refugees. So we took them through basics of how you can, tell your story through performing arts. And we are happy that from 2015 to date, they are able to make their short films. We did the inaugural Kakuma Got Talent in 2013.
And this means that after imparting the knowledge that we have, we just let them do their thing now. Now it is booming in Kakuma, and they are telling their own stories, they are getting into film festivals, and there is nothing as satisfying, something that makes you happy as an actor, that you have made somebody tell their stories the way they know best and the way they feel satisfying. My question would be, as an artist, rejection is part of our game. And I once stood before an audience and said, we need to tell our African stories. And we have a lot of it. And my senior somewhere told me that there is nothing like an African story. So I was like, okay. I know art is universal, but if I told my community sort of a story to an American audience, probably they're not going to really enjoy my story because we have different cultural backgrounds. So my question would be, as an actor, as an industry, now we have the younger generation, that is the Gen Z, who have numbers on social media. Older artists sometimes would go for an audition, and the younger generation would be preferred because they have the numbers on social media. So the audition, you did well in the audition, but really, because of the business bit of it, we need the numbers. So, apart from collaboration, how do the industry out there deal with the age gap? How do we bridge the gap so that we work together as a unit, as performing artists to make the industry better?
You want to take it? Question.
I turned off my microphone so that there's no reverb. Thank you for the really great question. How do you bridge the age gap? Well, I didn't bridge it for my parents and what they did, and they didn't bridge it for theirs. You just have to realize that there's a next section of us coming in, and they've got different ideas, and they want to display it differently. Basically, you get to be uncle, you get to be grandpa, you get to be secondary, unless you've got your own story to tell and you want to continue doing it the way you do it, and you'll have an audience who has either never seen that culture before or that part of their culture and become fascinated. Basically, Disneyland Wakanda is what happened to us. And, or it can be like my nephews. I don't know what the hell they're saying, but they've got hits upon hits upon hits and numbers upon numbers. My kid is in China playing Mr. Bandana. And I don't know what it means, but he has thousands upon thousands of people following him. And so I think we kind of have to accept that there is a difference per generation. I believe that your truth will out, in the sense that it can happen, you could write it today. It may have not one single Gen Z or the next generation to come in it, but if it's your truth, it'll be curious enough for people to kind of go, did you check that out? It's about some old guy, blah, blah, blah. But it caught your attention. And so I think we have to trust that the stories that we want to tell are based in truth, have the drama within it, and can be seen basically by everyone. Human nature is universal. So eventually it's going to come around. But let's face it, what we do is not for everybody.
Yes.
You know, we just have to accept this. It's not for everybody. And even within our community, we're all here in the same room wanting to hear something powerful and interesting, and like, what can we do? You will think, well, what she said that was particularly interesting. That's great. I think I'll follow that. Somebody else in the room said, what the hell is she talking about? That doesn't affect me at all. I see you again. Come.
But Cece, you're playing the mother of the village in Avatar, right?
Yes.
So she's still relevant. You've got to play the father, you've got to play the uncle, you've got to play the cousin, and you've got to generate the stories and hire the Gen Z kid to promote it. Put him in it as your son or your grandson, or work with them. John worked with the Wayans brothers. They did not want John for the father at NBC, but they said we were going to have John play this part. And sure enough, they ended up doing 100 episodes with John, but they just didn't end up doing it at NBC. So there's always more than one way to skin a cat. And you can get numbers too. You can build your numbers.
There's a lot of people in your age category that's just dying to tick a bell. It's like, oh yes, I saw him. So I think all of us sell ourselves too short because we're comparing ourselves to things that really don't matter. And once we start to compare ourselves with ourselves, then we're in a far better situation. Then we can play the game. Young lady in pink.
Hi. My name is Lulu Musimi, but you can just stick to Lulu. I don't have much of a story because I just turned 18 and I just started my diploma in journalism. So I just had a question about, I guess, dealing with imposter syndrome. Like feeling like, man, I'm not good at this. Everyone else seems to be like so much better and have more experience, and I'm just a kid. So yeah, I guess just dealing with imposter syndrome and feeling like you might not be talented enough or good enough. And then also, to kind of add on to that, being someone who works in a creative or artistic field, your work is very like personal and you feel emotionally attached to what you do. But then you also have to have this like tough exterior because it's also business. So I guess just my question would be, how do you balance the emotional attachment you have with your work and also just being like, it's also business at the same time? Yeah.
It's a great question. I just want to say, feeling like the youngest person in the room sometimes is the greatest weapon. It disarms people. Even if it's like, look kid, this is how we do it. Get the information if you're a journalist. If they want to tell you whatever it is that they want to tell you, if behind that look of innocence, look of youth, there are actually real questions. Ask the questions, because they might be the ones that actually give you the most honest answer. So I would not be afraid of your 18-year-oldness, your brightness. I would not be afraid of any of that. And if necessary, you have your hair up in boo-boos and wear pink and you look like you're a young person. If that's working for you, do it. If it's not working for you, change it. Your youth is not going to change until it changes.
I have an answer for this. So, if you do the work, you're not an imposter. If you're there early, if you're reading books about filmmaking, if you're going to lectures, if you're out studying film, if you're watching so many movies a week, if you're writing down or keeping a journal, if you're waking up every morning and doing something for your career, whether it's a phone call or an exercise program or a workout or just writing down your goals, one day you're going to wake up and say, I'm not an imposter, I'm in the game. The secret to filmmaking is get there early. Get to know every single person. Get to know the camera person. Get to know the wardrobe assistant. Get to know the makeup artist. Every single one of the people at the table has a great story. Get to know the person who's in the writer's room. Get to know the person who's doing the driving the people back and forth. There's so many jobs that go into making a film. He tries to do all of them over there. But if you do something every day towards your career, one day you're going to wake up and say, I'm not an imposter. I'm in it. I'm in the game. And you have everything in front of you. You can't fall down. You're on the floor.
Thank you. That's young and right here.
Hi everyone. My name is Adriana. For me, I don't have much of a story. I'm not even 18 yet. Yeah, I'm still in high school. So my question is, okay, apart from these Kenyan films or the auditions we have here, like for me, let's say I want to make it to like a big Netflix show, let's say, I don't know, Stranger Things, would it be wise to join platforms like Backstage or Star Now, or even to get a talent manager or agent? Which way should I go about?
My opinion only. You don't have to take it. If nobody knows you in your town, why should they know you in that other town? If you just want to read it Backstage and see like, oh, they need a young person. Does that person have an accent? Does that person speak another language? Do they speak my language? Am I unusual enough that they have to come all the way here in Nairobi that they cannot find in the 5,000 refugees in Kentucky, in the 29,000 refugees in Nebraska, who speak the language, who are already accustomed to the American system? So, working here and knowing what it is that you want here is going to set you up as a platform to stand on so that you can jettison yourself as a take off from anywhere. And I think that's the most important thing. Angie, what do you think?
Well, I understand her looking at Netflix as a goal, and you can write Netflix on your mirror. But then you've got to do all the little footsteps down here that she's saying, be in a theater production right here in Nairobi. Film the theater, write the theater production. Film the theater production. Make a Stranger Things Nairobi about a group of kids who are haunted by a voodoo priest, or your own version of Stranger Things Nairobi. And then I've seen Netflix pick up a product from Italy, from Spain, and the subtitles are in French or in English or what have you. But it's all in the work to me. If you create something interesting, if you build it, they will come. But you've got to build it. You can't just be, oh, I think I'd like to be on Netflix. You and 5,000 other kids. Where's the footwork?
Thank you. Sorry, Jesus is in the house. Yes, sir. Message, Jesus is in the house.
Hi, everyone. My question is to both ladies. The machinery is changing. I've researched your films, your projects. For example, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, great in the 2000s when the rom-com era was dope. But right now, the superhero craze is there. It's the thing, right? So, like, that movie was ahead of its time. So much is changing in Hollywood. Representation of women of color, so on, the casting couch, which is exchanging sexual favors for roles, for those who don't know. Avatar, I saw that for Avatar Fire to make back, it has to make like at least $1 billion. And you have to look at markets like China, North America. How do you change with all of that? It's really, so much has changed. How have you two individuals pivoted and changed as time has gone on? Yeah, thank you.
It's a really super question because it's happening to me now, and I'm in the middle of it. And how I described it to my family was, I would imagine when the movies were silent, and then came the talkies. And in silent film, you were a sexy diva. And then when the talkies came, you had to open your mouth, and you dirty like And everybody went, oh my God, what are we going to do with that? And that's how those people got eliminated. And the next group came in. Avatar, interestingly enough, chose only people who were foreign, who had a foreign sound. And we were not allowed to speak any language at all. We would only communicate by It's no language at all, but you got the feeling that that person was communicating. And those were the people that were chosen for Avatar, and I ended up playing the mother, Moat. And I will now go on to the third Avatar, which opens on the 1st of December. We have the third world premiere, and there are still 2 more to go. It's a book of 5. I told Mr. Cameron, I said, I will be walking down the red carpet like this. It takes 5, 6, 7 years to finish these suckers. So I can imagine that people who have no idea how to use their imagination, which I don't think it's anybody in this room, because we're not working with glasses. Your glasses are on. You're not working with a book. You're holding a piece of gray paper. This is the book. You're not working with horses. There are mechanical toys giving you the movement. You're running up ramps, but you're actually scaling hills. You're jumping off platforms. You're actually flying in the air. And so the imagination in the vomitorium, which is the room where all this gray matter, where all the avatars come alive, is I am moving, and my avatar is instantly being imported into the computer and becoming activated right away. And that is a really difficult thing for some people to imagine. And so it's a huge leap for some people. And AI is now the next factor. Because, as I said, Avatar takes a really long time to make. Sometimes I'm already filming on something else. And they see if they can get you. And when they can't get you, they will say something like, it's okay, we'll get it from the computer. Now, when you start this film, every day the actor stands in front of the camera, somebody says, give me laughter. Hysterical. Give me a little bit of laughter. Give me sadness, and so on. And you do this every single day. You never think that they are banking your emotions. They are banking your gifts. Because nobody gives a crazy laugh. Do you see what I'm saying? It's so individual. I'm not bragging, but I mean, it's an individual sound. And you lay out these emotions that are banked. And if you do them every day, it means that every day that laughter is slightly different. That sadness is slightly different. So they have a plethora of emotions about you that they can use elsewhere. Now, I feel like I'm in a really good company that will take care of me. How this happens in the rest of the world, we don't exactly know. We're not sure of the power of AI. We're not sure that it's going to serve us well. But what I am sure of is that it is here to stay. Better learn it, better use it to your advantage, and don't be frightened of it. I think that's the most important thing, and that's what I think in terms of what's coming next, how trepidatious it really is, yes. Okay.
There's somebody back there with another question.
Okay, come and ask your question. Don't ask more. Yes. Is this all going the way you wanted? Is there anything else that you need to know? Let us know, okay?
Hi, hello. My name is Kelvin Wong. I just came here because I'm a millennial. I grew up with you in the Christine KCA University. She looks, she's in an episode of Justice League where she looks at Batman and says, "You better stop probing there, rich boy." And then she walks away. So this is a pretty cool moment. Also, 2 weeks ago I was watching All That Jazz, and she's a nurse in that film. I think that was the first movie. Yeah, and when I was watching that, I realized it's very different from the roles that you do nowadays. Nowadays you play mostly authority figures, you know, Amanda Waller, the police chief in Shield, and all that. And I just wanted to know that, is that a conscious choice that you made to pursue certain roles? Or
You came in late.
Yes,
I saw you come in.
Yeah.
So I talked about being like all other young actors who get the roles of, you know, prostitutes, go on the street, chewing gum, snack attack. And I had an incident where a young man and his father said, "Hey Dad, that's that lady." And he grabbed his hand and said, "Yeah, they're all like that." And I just realized at that time the power of television, and that you think you're just being an actor. You just, you know, it's just another role. And yet, television is so powerful and subversive. It's in your bedroom, it's in your living room. It is making answers for you that you didn't ask for. And so that's why I stopped. And I made a conscious effort to play women of substance.
Okay. Also, you are a character actress, right? Like
And what?
a character actress.
I am a character actress.
Yes, that's a joke with your costume, where Michael Martin is shooting on police and saying, "This is for CCH founder and John Carlo Lynch. These actors who live in lucrative obscurity."
Yes.
Anyways,
Oh, beautifully put. I'm going to steal that line. Thank you.
Wait a minute. So what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just a film fan. I love films. I watch a lot of them. That's how I know you. I know your work. I also, mostly I'm a film fan. Let me just say that. I'm a film fan. I just love stories. In all their forms, in the video games.
Thank you.
So, yeah, that's what I am. Thank you.
Hi. So we've got lots of hands up over here.
You have plenty of time.
Hi everyone. My name is Ian Mutugi. So professionally, I'm confused. Everyone has a career in the field. I feel bad because when you are a young person working in a growing organization, you will do a lot. So sometimes I'm handling the school website, sometimes I'm handling the management system, sometimes you're handling the social media accounts for the organization, and sometimes when we have demonstrations like we had, you become the therapist. Millennials and Gen X sometimes come to you for advice. To be sure, tell us to find meaning. And then normally you turn towards the people shooting at you, but since you're old, you might as well stay here. So Sandra joined us a while back, and she has made me realize just how much I love
and know about film and film production in general. And one of the questions that I had, and it's good that you've given the example of how you're not allowed to use any other language in Avatar. Do actors and actresses find themselves in situations where they're so interested and invested in the role that they clash with them or their realities? Like, you find yourself bringing the role into your life. You could be talking to someone and you speak the language, or the character and role changes the real you and your values, or is there like a 9 to 5 switch where after acting you switch off and you're back to you, and then when cameras go on you're back to yourself, or what happens in that case?
The reason why I wanted to answer the question is because if you're doing a series, the character tends to hang about at home with you, comes home sometimes. It doesn't always. But there's one thing that's really positive that I would like to share with you, and that is, believe it or not, I was shy, bad word, I was reserved, not too vocal about anything. And then I got to play a role that was very demanding, harsh. It was from The Shield, and I played a really tough police officer, detective. And I used to have people do this to me. Oh wow, I love your acting. Hi, my name is, what's your name? I saw you on that film. Can I get a picture with you? And and after I started playing Claudette Wins, people would go, oh, excuse me, hello, my name is, I really like your work. It was the greatest thing that happened to me because it gave people the barrier to not approach me as if I were a thing. You know, sometimes people just go, oh my God, where's she? Hey, take my picture. And it would be really scary sometimes. You're in the airport, you're anywhere, and somebody just grabs you by the hand. And so sometimes it really works to your advantage. And other times, it comes home with you, particularly if you're doing theater. It's very hard to give up that role over the next 10 hours and then go right back into playing Ophelia or something really heavy duty. So sometimes it does come home with you, but you have to say to yourself, I'm home now. It's okay.
I want to talk a little bit about mental health.
Yes.
So sometimes when you're creative, you have to make sure that you're mentally healthy, because you do kind of go into this blurry world where you're playing a character, you're playing a bad guy or a good, and so it's a skill. You've learned how to act, you've learned how to do it on camera, you've learned how to do it in the theater, but then you have your real life. And that's where you have your family, that's where you learn how to cook, that's where you clean up your room, that's where you do your laundry, that's where you exercise. So you have to have a healthy life to be able to provide a healthy character, huh?
Or even to play unhealthy characters. People have to have a healthy base.
Yeah. So work on having a healthy life so you can play all different colors. Is that a good answer? All right, I would like to hear from the head of the school.
Absolutely.
Madame, she's talking. We'd like to hear from you.
Angela, what would you like to hear
I
from
want to
me?
hear about your story. From you one of the first people to graduate with a degree in
Performing arts.
Yeah.
In this country.
Did you guys know that?
Yeah, so at undergraduate level, my friend Suki were the first group. Suki, whoever them, they were the first to graduate with drama and theatre studies from KCA University. Then the following year, 2005, we graduated from KCA University and still graduating in drama and theatre studies. But I'm also the first PhD in theatre arts from Kenyan University. Can you clap for me? Yeah, CCH said she was not courageous enough to say the truth. I was also never courageous enough to tell my parents the truth. They learned later, but now they are very, very proud. And people like Brenda Joma are here because in my small town they say me like Dr. Zipi. So from my small town in Homa Bay, Brenda is the second one who studied film and performing arts. So we are recruiting more people. And the one thing we are most proud about is right now we have over 3,000 graduates in performing arts and film from the time we started the program at KCA University in 2008. Can you guys clap for yourselves? Yeah, so I think one statement I'm known for is that I always say, yes, we don't have to go to school, as the industry have told us before, but education makes it easier to negotiate, to network, to collaborate. It just makes it easier to learn and faster. So you can take the long route or the short route. The choice is yours. Daniela has told you, she went at 59, she was told the same. So you will make it, but how fast, and how many people will come to support you. I think most of the people who know me here know me as a storyteller. I do a lot of one-woman shows. Like on 29th of November in your country, I'll be having my 8th one-woman show since 2018 at Catholic University.
I'm there.
Yeah. And thank you very much. 30% of the people who come are my former alumni students. She told you, CCH told you, the people who are going to be, you think you are a one-woman person, or it's your journey alone, but the people you studied with here are going to be with you along the way to the end. I always know, assuming girls are going to be there, Maseno University, University of Nairobi, my students at Kenyatta and KCA, they are 30% of the audience. And they have referred me to jobs, to, consultancy. So the person sitting next to you in class or in this hall is your next ticket to your next consultancy or your next appointment or your next role. So just be kind and nice to everyone and be easy to work with anything. My story is quite long, but I'd like us to appreciate our guests because today is not about me. Me, I'm here every day, is it? Yes, I'll tell you more about myself. Oh, right now I'm a social media influencer with 180,000 followers. Yeah, I just hit 180,000 followers over the weekend. Yeah, and my followers have purchasing power. So you guys were seeing Gen Z's can help you get audience. I can. I'm a millennial. Yeah, so guys, follow me too. If you've not followed me, can you go to Facebook? Follow me right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the stage is not mine. I'd like to invite Ms. Vivian Arambo, our school manager, School of Education and Social Sciences, to come and help us appreciate our guests in the way we only know how. Yeah. CCH, what is the meaning of CCH?
Okay, it's not a long story. At graduation, we're always asked, what professional name would you like to use? I already knew that my parents were against this. So CCH are my initials, CCH, Carol Christine Ilarno, Pounder, Kone. But CCH Pounder became my handle, and on graduation, ladies, I was the only female to receive 5 credit cards that said, congratulations, Mr. Pounder.
Oh, wow.
And no other female got a card. And I knew then what kind of life I would be living. And so, CCH Pounder is my kick-ass entrance name. They don't know what to expect until I show up high.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, they say, she said, let's hope no one is recording, but I always say I'm a bitch and I know it. I've met another bitch who knows it, right? Yeah, so we are the bad girls. There's a movement called Bad Girls in Kenya. I am the secretary. And there is an MP called Millie Mabona. She's the president of Bad Girls Association. We are recruiting you to the Bad Girls Association. Yes, and Angela, welcome to the Bad Girls Association method. Yeah, because we know our space.
Yeah, I want to be a bad girl. I'm not too old to do it.
No.
So she's put in a plug. I'm in Instagram, A. Robinson Witherspoon. And I put the Witherspoon on my name because there were 4 Angela Robinsons. One is also an actress, one is a producer, one is a director for Disney. So I had to add my husband's name, Witherspoon. And it didn't hurt.
It's good talk, guys. So, you say something again before you give our guests?
I'm actually very excited to be here just to listen to you. I'm getting inspired. I have a 15-year-old and what she wants to be is film and theater. And she didn't just discover that she needed that, but she's been acting it. So very soon, at least I have connection for her in the future. Thank you.
Okay, I'll start by Sandra. Yeah, I'll call you as the first lady who came up here to help us give gifts to one of our guests. Then Karanja, I'll also invite you as one of the first people who spoke to also come and give this. CCH? Yes, CCH powder, the one and only world over. Yes, Karibu. Sandra. Okay, let's move into that the photo have space. Thank you. Then Angela. My first daughter is called Angela Dorcas Zawadi. Yeah, she's a winner, but she won Chess in Dubai yesterday. Yes.
So can you talk about the film?
Yes.
Where
so we have it on a Google Drive, but if you will give us permission, through Cyrus' class, we can screen it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But also tomorrow where are we, CC?
At Two Rivers Cinema.
Do that and I'll
Okay.
Yeah.
enjoy watching you.
Okay. Nice.
One thing I want to tell her is that we had the same problem at Maseno University because of my second name. I also got a girls' hostel. Really poor woman. Yeah, so I stand for the women. Thank you. So, I've known now my friend.
And Menta.
Oh, girl, I'm just
No. We gift all our visitors. You are not just her. You are our visitor.
okay.
Yes. We want you to come again.
You won't be able to get rid of me. This has been brilliant. Really, truly. Thank you, everybody.
Bravo! You know, Menta, you've done a difficult job for us this morning.
I did?
Yeah, in Africa, the person who's escorted to entertain guests until everyone is ready. It's not an easy job, so thank you. Teddy, we want that whenever you take our guests, they know you are here first. So kindly, when you go to the inn tomorrow, wear our t-shirt. Karibu sana. And now, KAG, I have 2 gifts for the founder and whoever the founder chooses. So the founder, you will choose whether you want a t-shirt or a diary. Then you give the other one to the person who chooses. It is your size, by the way. Thank you. So you choose to give.
I definitely will.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our event, but before that happens, I'd like to have all our guests come. You will, because I'm a very selfish person, you will take a photo with me alone first. And then we will invite our staff members to join, and then the others can now join.
So while we're gathering, I should just mention that Angela's film is airing tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. It's followed by a Q&A, and it is at Kenyatta University Lecture Department of Communication. Okay? Yeah. Good. Is that
And
clear?
it's open to the public, guys.
It's open to the public. Betty Starr, ready to be a warrior. 99 years strong.
Wow, wow. All right, can we have the photo? And is there anyone who's not from KCA University and is not from the industry, any other university? Just carry your hand. Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Asante sana. Okay, Cyrus, are we at the center or we move this way?
Just a bit.
Move him or move you? Move
No, he's the main guy.
Yes.
The one will remember. Now the rest can join. Okay, staff members first, please.
Can you do the honors?
Sure.
No, I have to do it. Take one.
Okay. Yeah, this is the photo that's going to go to the researcher booklet. Okay, bye-bye. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I'd just like to request you. I know you stood for long, but first come, first serve. Only the next 5 minutes. Just come and stand here if you want to take a photo. So the 2 will stand here. If you want to take a photo, come very fast. Cyrus will just be clicking for your souvenir sake. Okay. I open to students, okay? Students, you can come. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Facebook too, maybe.